Which billionaire will be the first to rule the world? In the running, we have Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Vladimir Putin, and Rocket Man. Each of these billionaires are competing with each other to be the first to take over and rule the world. They each have their own unique skills and strategies for how they plan to do this, but only one of them will succeed. Which billionaire will come out on top? You decide! First, let's take a look at their individual strategies and how they plan to take over. Starting with Jeff Bezos. And he may look like a bozo,
My name is Jeff.
but he's still in the running to take over the world. And the way he plans to do it is by taking over the economy through e-commerce.
Bezos basically wants to own the whole economy, right?
You think he will?
I kind of think he will. I kind of think that in like 10 years, Jeff Bezos owns every single thing there is.
It's not a monopoly though, because they own a little bit of everything in all the different sectors of the economy. Take that, antitrust laws.
Amazon's this trillion-dollar tech company, closing 30% of our stores and malls and paying zero in taxes.
How much of the internet do you run?
It's a good question. It's a lot, though.
I'll translate what he's actually trying to say. As much as I can get away with.
And so then on sleep, I get 8 hours of sleep. I prioritize it. For me, I need 8 hours of sleep. I think better. I have more energy. My mood is better. All these things.
Another part of his strategy is that he sleeps 8 hours a day so his slaves, I mean workers, don't have to. I mean, how considerate of him, man. And when the people have had enough and they decide it's time to go on strike and form unions, well, I mean, people are overrated. I mean, just replace them with robots. I don't see the robots asking for a union, am I right?
For a glimpse into the future, consider one of the largest companies on the planet, Amazon.
Finally doing away with those pesky workers. People are overrated. Robots are where it's at.
Jeff Bezos is so rich, he got divorced, and he's still the richest man in the world.
Yes, make me laugh, clown. Tell him more about how great I am.
I want to thank every Amazon employee and every Amazon customer, because you guys paid for all this. So
I just want to take the time to thank all the peasants. Without you guys, there's no way I could rule the world. Just look at the reactions of the people sitting next to him when he says it.
In case you haven't caught on, I just slid my dick down your throat, and you thanked me for it.
Well, I guess I thanked you for it, but yeah, same difference, right? And then everybody clapped. The next candidate to rule the world is Bill Gates, through his strategy of population control, under the pretense of health, food, medicine, and well-being. He's already made his billions off of a little company known as Microsoft, which he probably nicknamed after his manhood.
Today, the greatest risk of global catastrophe doesn't look like this. Instead, it looks like this.
Now, he might have a micro-wiener, but my goodness, the balls on this man. He's openly saying his plans for world domination in public.
Now, the world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Oh, Bill Gates, but he didn't mean it like that. Surely he wouldn't just outright say his plans for world domination out in public, would he? Nah, couldn't be. It's not like there's any possible evidence for that anywhere, even, if you were just to do a little bit of research and to find some shady possible examples of wrongdoing and foul play. No, you wouldn't find that. Not easily anyways.
If anything kills over 10 million people in the next few decades,
I definitely had nothing to do with it.
to be a highly infectious virus rather than a war.
It'll be a disease, and if the disease won't kill you, then my vaccines hopefully will. there's probably gonna be a disease coming up real soon, because that's all according to just my really good lucky guess. Don't worry though, my health organization will offer a quick solution. What an absolutely brilliant business mogul, creating a disease and then selling the cure through his shitty organization. Stonks. Don't worry, his cure will save you from having to live life. You can't be sick if you're dead. Big brain.
I push forward. I wouldn't say I get angry, but I'm really impatient that we're not moving as fast as I'd like.
It's going too slow. These people just aren't dying fast enough as I would like. So, don't worry, I have made other plans. Population control is his entire strategy, so therefore he must use multiple strategies that lead to furthering that agenda.
How are we going to do that?
Well, actually, of all the categories, the one that has gone better than I would have expected 5 years ago is this work to make what's called artificial meat. And so you have people like Impossible or Beyond Meat, both of which I invested in.
You eat it as well, and you like it?
Absolutely.
But don't tell him I said that though. Be sure to go grab your own Impossible lab-grown shit burger today.
Restaurants are featuring everything from Impossible burgers to Beyond Sausage breakfast sandwiches on their menus. But is plant-based meat really healthier for you?
Impossible Burger and companies like that, they use a lot of novel proteins. In other words, things in their meat that we really can't even fully understand.
Yes, another brilliant part of his strategy to slowly and surely poison the food supply. Make them eat the garbage that will kill them, reasonably faster. You gotta admit, it's quite the strategy. Man's got a number of different ways of trying to kill us all. Or, at least enough of us until we're easier to control.
Is a combination that's never been tried before. Nobody would have predicted that I and Dr. Fauci would be so prominent in, really kind of evil theories about, did we create the pandemic? Are we trying to profit from it? And on and on.
Next up, we got Mark Zuckerberg. Is he reptilian? Is he machine?
But it is going to bother you because you're human, and I was human. I am human, still.
No one knows for sure. But what we do know is he's also a candidate to rule the world, albeit through a slightly different strategy than the first two. The Zuck strategy involves him being the kingpin of all social media.
Why did you do it, and what are you going to do with it?
Response. Need more data. That's why. Today, we are seen as a social media company. But in our DNA, we are a company that builds technology to rule the world. I believe the metaverse is the next chapter for the internet.
This machine decided to take a bit of an unorthodox approach. It analyzed the Matrix movies one too many times, and it decided, I can recreate that.
It's free real estate.
Convince everyone to plug into the Matrix, and the world is yours.
諸君は自発的にログアウトすることはできない。外部の人間の手によるナーブギアの停止あるいは解除もありえない。
Creeper! Oh man!
As we discussed in my office yesterday, Mr. Zuckerberg, you are here today because you are gay.
Yes.
Next candidate is Vladimir Putin, easily the coolest billionaire in the running to rule the world.
No one else does them shirt off, fish in hand. Welcome to Vladimir Putin's summer break in Siberia.
Now Putin here, he's more of a serious, no funny business kind of guy. Nah, Putin don't play around like that. Frick all this new age technology take over the world BS. Nah. He does it the old fashioned way, through imperialism.
Много шума по поводу наших ударов. Да, мы делаем это.
Good old fashioned imperialism, just as God intended it to be.
They acted like old college buddies.
He's like, hell yeah, bro. That's right. Dab me up, bro. That's legit. Shit, I wish I could do that too.
Вы меня спросили, ваш покорный слуга, друг или не друг?
Man's out here just laying down the law.
Я не друг, и не невеста, и не жених. Я президент Российской Федерации.
A recurring theme. In the past, we've seen him topless on a horse.
Just like the good old days of conquest. I'd follow him into war. Of course, first he'll start with Ukraine, and once he finally conquers Ukraine, then it's on to the rest of the neighboring countries. And from there, the rest of Europe and the world. It's a simple but very effective strategy. In fact, Germany almost got away with it at one point, and that wasn't that long ago. I'm just saying.
Мы готовы к любому развитию событий.
But while we're at it, you want some fish? Next candidate to rule the world is Mr. Chin Chin. He eats enough so his people don't have to.
The United Nations World Food Programme saw clear signs of hunger and illness. WFP estimates a third of all children under 5 in North Korea are severely malnourished.
It's about corn, it's about flour. You stay hungry, Kim Jong-un devours. Truly a ruler with a heart of gold. He's openly weeping that the women of his country just aren't producing enough slaves. I mean, children. If you're brainwashed and you know it, clap your hands. If you're brainwashed and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're brainwashed and you know it, clap your hands. Or else. Mr. Chin Chin's strategy is quite simple. Build rockets, and lots of them. And with that, the rest of the world will eventually bow down and cower before his shitty rockets. He'll get South Korea first, and then... Shit, I don't know. He's probably just making it up as he goes along. Let's be real here.
이번 시험 발사를 통하여 대성공으로 평가됐습니다.
You know, I just love to see the happy faces of his army at the end of the day when they realize the launch was a success and they won't be executed for at least another day. It truly is just the most heartwarming stuff that a person cannot even begin to describe in words alone. And lastly, we have Elon Muskrat. But for my money, elongated Muskrat probably has the best and most varied strategy out of all the billionaires. He is by far the one to take it all. All the other billionaires competing only have one strategy, but this man has at least 3 that we know of. The man is literally building an army of Terminators. If any of y'all seen the Terminator movies, you know we're in some deep shit. This is only one of his strategies, might I mention. He's got 2 more. He is literally creating a mind control chip to put inside of your brain.
This is made possible by placing a small, cosmetically invisible implant in a part of your brain that plans movements.
And he's marketed it as something so cool and trendy that there's idiots literally lining up to volunteer for it.
Firstly, can you explain what Neuralink is and what the goal of it is?
We put a chip in your brain to control your mind. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Concerns not alleviated.
Yeah, there you go. Jump right in. Step right up. Who wants one?
As if those 2 strategies weren't enough, he's also the one that's responsible for spearheading the movement towards super intelligent AI.
So, so you helped to the creation of OpenAI. You put in as much as $50 million.
More than helped. It wouldn't exist without me.
It wouldn't exist without you. So,
I came up with the name. The name OpenAI refers to open source. So the intent was
build it to the point where it becomes so powerful and so intelligent that it controls all of society and its functions, and then be the one to rule over it.
On the development of AI, what's he up to?
Musk has decided he really wants a piece of this action. As you say, he's set up this company, XAI.
Not only is he the richest man in the world, as we know publicly, but he also has multiple successful businesses and multiple strategies for taking over the world. In case one fails, he's got backup options ready to go. Any number of different ways he can take over. In fact, he's so far ahead of the game, he's not even concerned about taking over this world anymore. With his company SpaceX, he's already thinking at least 5 moves ahead. He's already thinking about how to colonize and conquer the next planet.
The thing that gets me most fired up is
not just conquering one planet, but conquering multiple planets.
It would be so exciting to wake up in the morning and think that that's what's happening.
How can you resist?
Yeah.
Exactly. Just go. Let's go full schoolyard taunting.
It might work.
Yeah.
And there you have it. I laid it all out. Which billionaire do you think will be the first to rule the world? You decide in the comments down below.